So the outdoor classroom is a newer space for us in our learning community, but like everything we do, the students were involved in the process. One of the first steps we did was brainstorm with the students, what might we need for the outdoor classroom? And it was fascinating because we saw practical ideas like tables, chairs, and clipboards, a lot of things that we had inside. They said we could have a quiet area here, we could have a talk it out table here, but we also saw full creativity. I think there was ideas for a roller coaster, a trampoline park.
But I loved how they wanted to recreate our classroom in here, outside. So.
We already do a lot of outdoor learning, but this is the first time we've had a dedicated physical space to it. So after the initial brainstorm, we sat down with the other kindergarten and grade 1-2 classes and kind of found what were common threads. When we looked at the student voice, what emerged across all those classrooms and all those communities about what they wanted in this space. And when we kind of narrowed down the elements of what was going to happen, we actually had the students create maps. So we gave them a physical outline of the outdoor classroom and they decided what would go where. And like everything we do, we documented their student voice. And it was fascinating what emerged. You know, they said we could maybe have a bench near the door. So right when you come in, you could sit down and we could have our writing materials there so you can sit and write. They said we should keep sand in the corner because it gets messy. We should keep it away from the art area. So it was really interesting that they designed this. And now when they play in it, they'll often say, oh yeah, I remember we suggested this.
Yeah, and I liked how they wanted, you know, the quiet area where it's shady and so the art stuff. So, you know, near the sink, I think they said.
Yeah, so allowing them to take the lead in the creation process, again, like everything we do inside was mirrored outside, and then they have ownership over the space, and it feels like, we always say, a community.
Yeah, yeah.
So the materials and the funding came primarily from Parent Council. And as the kindergarten team and the grade 1-2 team, we looked through resources to determine what materials, what pieces of furniture we wanted. This is kind of the soft opening of our outdoor classroom. There's actually more coming that we'll see in the space next year. But we just, as soon as it kind of got semi-formed, we knew we had to bring the students in. And as you can see, they love it. They're so engaged in all the 4 frames of learning, and to do it in the outdoors is such a bonus.
And I think Central Tech had their, some of their students make the fence. The fence, was it designed by our students?
Yeah, the fence was built by high school students from Central Tech.